And greetings, everyone. Froggy here. Welcome back to the channel. I know I haven't been online. I've been having some issues and some stuff at work. Uh, just had solar panels installed and having air conditioning problems at the house. But I've got temporary systems installed. I won't be streaming a lot during the week because of my job. I figured since I had the day off today, I'd jump in and do a quick stream and give everybody who watches the channel a chance or a glimpse at the three different modes or one of the modes you could play a game called Occupy Mars. As far as I know right now, it is still available. Well, obviously, it's still available in the Steam Workshop. And I believe, yes, it is still in early access right now. It's a $25 game, so if you're looking to get it, and you're looking for a survival game where you're building on Mars, by all means, it is a decent game. Um, I do recommend getting it, but do not try to hold this to any other survival games. It is something completely different altogether. A few things you could do. There's a single player and multiplayer. You can go through the tutorials. Tutorials are recommended if you've never played the prologue of Occupy Mars. Um, and it gives you like any of the tutorials for any game, gives you tips and hints, and gives you an idea of how to move around and to build things, more importantly, in the game. There's a campaign mode, and then there's the sandbox. Sandbox mode is I think to me, is a misnomenclature. It's more of a survival mode. Unlike most survival modes, you can select your difficulty for different things. So we're going to start off by going into sandbox because that's what we're going to be doing today. Your difficulty levels, you can set your actual difficulty level of how hard you want it. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to place it on tutorial for now. And then you can change the level of your wealth of resources. So minerals and stuff on the top side, how often weathers affect. Those of you that have played Space Engineers before, don't be fooled. This lightning does not strike your refineries here because there are none. They strike you and your buildings and stuff like that. But it's pretty widespread, so it's less frequent to happen of you getting struck by lightning unless you're out running around in a moving vehicle. You can change the difficulty of your technology level. The Madman version of the technology level gives you a more of a idea of what your the campaign will be. Colonist kind of gives you a setup of if you don't want to be running around looking for certain things in order to progress further in certain trees, because everything's based off of blueprints and certain advancements in technology require you to have go out and find certain blueprints. Obviously, we'll go ahead and we're going to go off the standard start. We'll start off in Cerberus, and then we'll move from there. And then you have your player parameter consumptions, your health and food and stuff like that. And then your starting equipment. Whether you start with vehicles or you just start with your life pod. The life pod would be your Madman, and that's the give you more towards the similarities to what you would be starting off in the campaign mode. But I'm not going to do the campaign mode on live. I want to play through it and kind of grasp the concept of how to get things done and how things work in the campaign mode. So I'm going to go ahead and play this this version. We're going to go on tutorial mainly for this save, so that you guys can kind of keep up and hopefully don't get too bored out of it. We're gonna keep our technology base down to the Madman version, mainly because of there is some other stuff that I want to be able to give you an idea of what you'll be dealing with in the actual campaign mode itself. At the bottom of the screen here is your starting equipment that you'll be coming with. So your base welder, a grinder, a drill. You'll start with a bottle here. Then you'll have your detector for water and scanning ores. This is for plants because you'll have to plant to make food. So this is like the I can't even remember the name of the actual mod in Space Engineers that requires you to have food. So this is just like your typical survival. You need food to survive. You have to eat. You have to drink. You have to change out your O2 every so often, and so on and so forth. All right, so let's get it started. And I think the beginning of the game is relatively unique, whether you're playing in the campaign mode or you're playing it in sandbox. Let's begin. It takes a few minutes for the game to load. Obviously, everything is like that. So let's give it a few minutes. There are going to be a lot of features in the game that'll be present, but a lot of it's still experimental, or it's still being developed. So there will be at least one technology tree we won't be able to advance into. We may get points for it, but we won't be able to advance into anything into it. I think it's a glitch in the game since the last update they did. But all right, so let's take a look at here we go. You guys hearing the game sound at all? Let's see if I've got something messed up here. Because what it sounds like right now is that my volume is completely shut off for the game. And I have sound. It may not kick in until after the game because I have music shut off. That way that since I'm streaming...
Launch escape procedure completed. Emergency power generator active. Emergency oxygen generator active. Comms down. Detected nearby. Underground ice, abandoned buildings, small vehicle. Alpha base status, critical damage, radiation alert. No information on survivors. Caution, this escape pod is designed only for short-term survival. Lockers contain basic building materials and food rations sufficient for a few days. Recommended construction of well for water and solar panel for spacesuit recharging. Emergency access to technologies beyond your experience level temporarily granted. Obtain necessary permissions and confirm through the Tech Tree tab ASAP. It is mandatory to read the FAQ. ERA is not liable for any injuries or death, lawsuits won't be respected. Good luck.
All right, so this starts out the same way it starts out in the campaign mode. The only difference between here and the campaign mode is simply your starting point. You can change your starting point here, whereas in the campaign mode, you're literally starting from nothing and working your way up the tree. All right, so I'm going to explain a few things in the game that'll be explained in the tutorial right away when you play them. So your inventory screen, obviously what you have in your personal inventory. Any messages as you might have missed will be found in your message menu. Your tech tree. These are the trees that you will go out as you do things within that tech tree. As you plant, you'll get botany. As you walk around building electrical panels or solar panels, recharge your suit, use tools, anything that requires a power source, you will get electrical points. And this little circle here will build up. Materials, grinding things down, building things up, will give you points into building materials into this tree. And then you got mechanical, using your tools, crafting things will give you points into this particular tech tree. Once you're done, got your tech trees open, you can go into your blueprints, and there's the different areas where you can the different things you can build. So currently, right now, we really can't. We can build solar panels and lights. We can build a well. Nothing in the food. Nothing in the living. Main HQ, meaning once you get a building set up or unlocked, you can put these components down. Your incubator and a hydroponics. That way you can start growing food. My last save, and I think on my campaign mode or campaign save, I waited to put these down. So I was short on food, and I'm going to have to restart the campaign because I don't have a backup save that goes before all that crap. Then you've got nothing in there, nothing in the garage yet. So we start out very minimum, not a lot. Knowledge, as you get to the games, FAQs, tablets you discover. This will show you the different tablets you can pick up. You are required, in order to complete certain things in certain tech trees, you'll need to pick up these tablets. These contain the blueprints that will allow you to build certain things. For example, we'll hit this one right off the bat, and it's in electrical. All right. So in order to build our transformer, we need to unlock the workshop, which is in your materials. Then here it says a blueprint needed. Industrial energy converts. That's a tablet we'll have to go out and find. They will say, hey, we've researched this. Here's the blueprints for it. And then highlight these little boxes. It'll say either blueprint needed, or a certain component of another tree needs to be unlocked in order to unlock that particular part of the tree, of the tech tree. And this one says require unlocking technology workshop. So before we can build transformers, we have to build our workshop. So we'll start out with our basic small solar panels, lights, the ability to make cables. Now we're wondering, okay, how do I craft all this stuff that I can currently make? All right, so in order to, here, look at here, here's an abandoned tablet. What do we got here? These are the tablets you're going to be looking for out in the world. Go in your inventory, right click on the tablet and click on use. There you go. Now we've unlocked the ATV. This is in your mechanics thing. You'll have 3 different vehicles you can unlock and craft. They are your ATV. Let's go to your mechanics. All right, so you have the ATV, the all-terrain vehicle, a motorcycle. Sorry, there's 4. A motorcycle, a Mars truck, and then the heavy rover. The heavy rover is good for collecting large amounts of materials and stuff to progressing and building your base or your survival base faster. But we don't have a printer. We don't have any materials yet. So what we can do is you go into these cabinets here, pick up the motors, pick up glass plates, aluminum plates, steel plates. And we just unlocked the Cerberus map on the map. And again, we've located a new location. We're going to save those for later. Those are our food rations, so we'll leave those up there. Electronics, cement. We'll need these for building solar panels. And that's it. So some of the tools we'll pick up. Your blowtorch.
New
This is for
item.
building. Right click it to put it away. Here's your grinder.
New item.
Your jackhammer or your drill. And then your spectacle detector.
New
I'm going to leave the
item.
food and everything down for now in here until we get a little bit further and get our actual base set up. Water, some tubes, and electrical cable. You're going to need the electrical cable later because you've got to run power, and then you can run water pipes to your buildings. All right, so a couple things inside the survival pod other than picking up the needed materials. You can use this as temporary sleeping quarters until you get a building built. You can also, comes with a starting printer. So kind of like Space Engineers where you get your starting survival drop pod. This drop pod comes with a survival kit, as you could say, where you can go and use a basic printer to print off materials. Here you go. Here's the basic stuff. Everything that's not grayed out, you can build from here. Obviously, you can build this stuff from here as well. It's not been unlocked in the technology tree yet. In order to put things in the inventory, obviously click on the inventory menu. Any minerals that you pick up, put them in this inventory. And then when you print stuff, printer containers where you would pick it up at. And this here is your oxygen supply here in the pod. Here you can fill your oxygen bottles. Now, unlike other survival pods, this one does not have one that carries a container of H2O or water. So that's what we have to go out and build. All right, so we're going to open up our thing. And then we want to pull out our detector first, because what our detector is going to do, see the little blue highlight? That tells us where the best location of water is. And you want to kind of start building your base in the general area where your water's at, because you don't want to run pipes for too long. And it makes things a little bit easier. So now we've got our water source. We'll put our Now, what's nice about this well, it has its own solar panel, so you don't have to build a battery or anything for it to provide power to it. The only problem is there's no power when the sun goes down. Now, here at the well, you click on the screen here. Here you can fill your water bottles. There are other extensions to this well that you can add. Where you can start creating oxygen and start creating methane. I'm not sure what the methane's for or quite yet. I'm pretty sure we can use that as like a source of fuel, but we'll discover that as we go. All right, so now that we've got our well set up, now let's set up us a solar panel as well. I'm gonna build it a little ways off the water deposit. I'm also going to build my building itself a little back a ways over here. Or start building my base here. That way it, I'm not interfering with my water and I don't have to walk or run as long of pipes or anything and I need for that. So how do I build things? Well, other than using the detector to drop the well, you could do that, or you can press the B button. It'll pull up your wrist pad right into your blueprints. For what we're going to build next, we want to click on our electrical and click on our solar panel. And then it'll place it. Now the little arrow on it shows you the place where the plug-in is located at. That is a good thing to remember and to spot off the top of your head. Because the fact is depending on where that plug goes is going to determine on how much cable you need to run to your buildings or to your transformers before they go to batteries and then to your building. You can do one of two things with those outlets. You can plug your electrical cables in them to where they can go and be used for recharging vehicles like the truck over there. Or if your battery is running low, it's not going to show it. Where is you click on the little open the socket, you either click or press E, and it will automatically recharge your suit battery. And it tells you your suit is recharged. All right, so let's go refill our bottle first, because we got some stuff we need. Just drag and drop. And then run down here to the little water well here. Click on the screen, and then as long as the bottle is in your inventory, click on fill bottle. It will automatically pull that single bottle out of your inventory and fill it. If you don't have any bottles to fill in your inventory and you accidentally or you click on fill bottle, no bottles to be filled. It'll be the same thing if you try to fill oxygen from your rescue pod here. All right, so let's take a look at this truck here. This truck is the Heavy Rover. The reason why we got this is because where we started out in the tech tree, we have vehicles and it's dropped with the pod. So it's here. It's nice to have these vehicles from the get-go. You don't always have to have this vehicle as you start. You can go and find locally the ATV, and then you build the Mars truck later and the motorcycle as the game goes on. The nice thing about the Heavy Rover itself is if you look at the screen here, you have your battery, so how much power is left in the batteries on the truck. And then he has this one in particular has its own source of oxygen. Now, the problem with that is if you take your helmet off inside, you deplete that oxygen, You did it
Available
too
point for
soon.
technological advancement.
Yeah, see, just me moving around and doing things. I've already gotten a point in technology. Let's open up our wrist pad by hitting the tab button. Click on our tech tree. Now, when we get an advancement in the technology, there's a little red hexagon that'll pop up, or exclamation point that'll pop up. You click on that particular one. Now we have a point in our research. I can't do anything yet or advance any further in my tech tree for electrical because I don't have this building unlocked, which is in the materials. And in order to do that, I have to do more stuff of gathering materials and stuff like that in order to advance in that tech tree. And then I'll be able to advance in my electrical tech tree. All right, so here we go. You can either press escape or tab to get out. Right click or press E to get into the seat. Pressing tab will roll you over to the crane portion of your truck. You can turn lights on and off. You can click the camera. This allows you to control the crane from inside the truck. Or you can hit the V button, which will give you your third-person view. You can control the crane that way. And then you hit tab again to go back to the driver's portion of the truck. Then we have here at the top another top panel we can interact with. And you can turn your rear camera on so you can see everything in the back of your truck. The hook operates the hook on the bed of your truck. That it has an interchangeable bed. You can be able to craft things later on. We'll play with that later once we actually start making the different types of components that we can put on the bed of the truck. Transport mode. Well, what that does, I'll click on it. And it puts the hook and stows the crane itself. Then you've got lock differentials. Obviously, that's exactly what it does. Is it locks certain different differentials on the vehicle. Then you have your different headlamps that you can turn on at night. Allows you to interact with the front ones, left and right. Crane light, and then the back lights, which are allow you to see where the back of the truck is. Obviously, we don't need those now because we have just started and it's daylight out. Olay. So the same keys you use to move around will allow you to move around with the truck or to drive the truck. We're pretty limited on the amount of stuff we can actually grind down with our grinder right now because it is just a basic gear grinder. So we're not going to be able to collect too many resources right now. In order to get out of the seat, right click and you can get out of the seat. And then here's the other one, your ATV. We're not going to be able to do anything with the ATV yet because in order to drive it or to get it to work, we have to either replace the small circuit board or repair the small circuit board we just found. We pulled out of the ATV. So we're going to close the hatch and leave that sit there for right now. I'll show you what I mean by tech. So this is the yellow grinder. And it's letting us grind that down. There are some things that you won't be able to grind down with this. You even get some components and stuff back from it. Just like with any low tier item, it's going to take you a while to grind through all this stuff. And there, the big box disappears. Now, let's go over to these solar panels. Hey, we can get materials from these. Upgrade your grinder to be able to grind this object. It'll say the same thing on this building here. I can't grind this stuff. I believe for buildings you need a Tech 3 or a Tier 3 grinder, and then we'll have to go to a Tier 2 in order to grind the rest of this stuff here. We won't be able to do that yet because we've got to unlock and build the workbench, which we need the workshop in order to place it. So there's a lot of these abandoned facilities around Mars that you can locate. Inside here, you can find lockers, openable panels that you can pull stuff out of, openable containers that we can pull equipment and materials from. Let's open up this box now and see what we get. And solid rocket fuel or explosive. Once you have an item in your hand, left click again will automatically put it into your inventory. That should be explained in the tutorials. There's a small circuit board. We can't craft circuit boards, I don't think. I haven't been able to yet. But you can go around. Ooh, look, see? We found some processed food. Add that to our collection. But you run around, you'll have to find small, medium, and gigantic boards. These will help you in certain buildings that you will build. And certain components you have to build require circuit cards. Now this stuff we can grind down, we can collect materials from. If you look at the top of the screen where the date and everything's at, you'll see your heart rate, the temperature outside, time and day. And then just to the left of that, you'll see the icons that just popped up that are giving you points. That's showing that you're acquiring points in the particular tech tree. By grinding, we're getting more points in our materials tech tree, and we're getting points in the electrical tech tree as well. Only because we're using power. There's one of those big circuit boards.
Available point for technological advancement.
There we go. Now I think we can unlock our workshop, which means we can build our workshop. I don't know if we have all the components to build it yet. We'll finish grinding this stuff out, and then we'll put down our workshop. Or go into our tech tree, unlock it, then place our workshop. And we'll come back over here in a little while to, there's the door. To gather some more materials and get some more points in our tech trees to advance further. One thing I like to do, or one thing that's also nice too, is that say you're in a hurry, you run into the truck is plugged in and the door is open, you jump in the truck.
Oxygen source, external.
It automatically closes the door on the side there. And it will, if you are plugged in, it will automatically unplug the truck. You will have to plug it back in manually once you get out. There is no automatic re-plug-in feature yet. Truck is a little annoying and it has a really bad turning circle. One of the downsides of this big truck, but the upside is that the bed of the truck right now can transport a large amount of materials. Now, a lot of you are probably asking yourselves the one important question of any survival game that has a large map like the size of Mars. How do I find where my base is at when I've gone long distances away? Well, let's fix that and answer that question now. Press the M key on your keyboard or press tab to open up your tablet. Click on radar. The radar will bring up a map of the area which is detectable from your location. Some of these circles these line circles here have buildings inside of them. Some of them don't. The buildings that you can see within your detection circle will be like this here. So let's get with our own indicator. So I'm going to build my base here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to left click. Now I could name it. Name it home for now. And then we're going to put track. We can change the color of the icon. We won't see white. The white won't pop up on our HUD, but yellow, red, and green do. And I'm going to go ahead and put home base as green. And then what I normally do is when I'm out or I'm going out to investigate a building that's far, far away, I'll either to the north I use yellow and to the south I use red. You don't have to do that. That's all up to you. It's just the way I've done it. All right, so let's go. Well, first let's go into our tech tree and unlock some tech. Now we have a point available for our basic materials. We're going to go ahead and unlock our workshop.
Materials, technology
which
access
unlocks,
level increased.
Airlocks and gives us a ramp so we can climb up in it without having to jump. And it gives us some other stuff that we can build. All right, so now we open up the door. Press the B key, close our electrical window, go into our living, I think it is. Yep, there it is. Click on the workshop blueprint and look at the size of that thing. It is huge. Now, this will change depending on which way you're looking. It will automatically shift the doors, the openings towards you. If you want to manually change that, you press the arrow keys. I recommend pressing the arrow keys because it'll give you a general idea of what side the water and everything is on the building. And if I'm looking at this correctly, it is on the other side of the building. So what I want to do is I'm going to place it here. Yep, there's the arrow key. What I want to do is I want to place my building here, but I want to rotate it 180 degrees so that my water and everything is on the right side of the building. And then I'll put the blueprint down. Press the 1 key. If you have the materials in it, it will automatically start building and placing the materials you have in your inventory into the blueprint. And if you don't have enough, it will let you know that you don't have the right amount of materials. Alright, hang on a second. Looks like I have a guest. All right, sorry about that, folks. The guys here to fix my AC are finally here. They're out troubleshooting the system right now, trying to figure out what's going on, so that I can actually have my HVAC system cooling my house by this a borrowed AC through somebody else. All right, so let's continue building our base. Oops, excuse me. That's one thing we don't have.
Not enough materials.
So you either don't have the materials or you're missing a circuit card. So the card that I'm missing right now is one of those circuit boards. So I need a medium circuit board in order to complete the construction of my workshop. I completely forgot about that. So while we're waiting on that, I'm going to go ahead and open up my blueprints again. And then I'm going to start building myself an airlock for it. So to do that, we go up to our airlocks. Click on our airlock. You want to put 2 down, obviously. So you're separating the outside atmosphere from the inside atmosphere inside. And then to make things getting into it a lot easier, we'll put down a little ramp. I believe we can build the ramp and everything like that. The only thing we won't be able to do is access the actual building itself until we find ourselves a medium circuit board. Here in a few more minutes, it's going to start, the temperature's going to drop. We're going to get a little warning that says, hey, low temperature warning, or temperature warnings are going to be, it's going to be cold soon. All right, so you can do one of 2 things to escape the heat or escape the cold, or to sleep the night away. You can go in your truck and sleep in the truck. I highly recommend you should close the door. And then, or you can, if you're starting out at the madman level, you walk all the way back over to your escape pod over here, close the door, and you'll have breathable oxygen, and you'll be able to sleep inside in the chairs. I do both. If you want to be able to take your helmet off and sleep, I do recommend using the survival pod for as long as you need to.
Oxygen source external.
Depleting the oxygen that's inside your truck, because you can use that as like an emergency storage of oxygen. And then, so things you got to do before you go to sleep: check your water bottle. Your hydration level needs to be up high enough to where you can sleep for at least until morning. And then your little stomach over here tells you how much food you need, and you're about 34% hungry, full. So you need to go over to your processed food or your food ration packets. Right click and consume, and then you show how full your stomach is. Now you're at 76%. Ideally, you want both of those above 60 or 70% in order to get a decent amount of sleep, so that you can get more than a couple hours and you can wake up in the morning versus in the dark. So
Warning.
There's one of our warnings. Warning: expect significant temperature drops in the next hour. So in 22, because it uses the 24-hour time period, or 24-hour clock versus the standard 12-hour. The temperature will drop enough to where it can cause injury to us, because our suit is not handled or designed to handle those cold temperatures. And then we can sleep. Click on the bed. This tells you the allotted max time you can sleep. As long as your hunger and hydration is up high enough, you can get more than 8 hours of sleep in survival mode. In campaign mode, it's a little different. There's only It allows you to sleep in 8-hour periods. Googling this, I found out at 10 o'clock, around 10 o'clock is when the temperature drops. The temperature doesn't start to pick up again until 8 o'clock. So we want to sleep till then. And then watch the nice little animation.
Suit power, 75%.
As you can see, you'll get notifications for every 25% drop in O2 and power in your suit. All right, before I shouldn't have done that. So actually, no, my hydration and everything's good. All right, so is my oxygen.
Oxygen source, external.
All right, we'll get back in our chairs since we need to get some. We need a medium circuit in order to complete our building. We're going to go back over and explore some more buildings. What's nice about the truck too is it has a little bit of storage on it. I'm going to go over here and continue exploring this building. See if we can find any more goodies. And if you find it's a little hard to see in here, pressing the F key will turn your flashlight on for your suit. I don't think there's... Oh, we've got to check these lockers. We can open these lockers. Sometimes they'll have stuff in them. So here's... We got a small circuit board here. And then, there's our medium circuit board. Now we can
Inventory
finish building.
full.
Oh, our inventory's full. How is our inventory full? Oh, okay. That's why. All right. We can fix that real quick. So, the circuit boards don't stack. As you can see, each circuit board you find picks up
inventory full.
Picks up a slot of inventory. Now look at all this nice large inventory you have inside this truck. You can store your extra O2 CO2 bottle. We won't need that yet. We'll put our feed magazines in here. We'll put our health packs in here for now. Our suit repair. We'll put the repairable. This is where we'll store our circuit cards at for now until we need them. We'll put this in there. And I leave the basic materials in there. That way I can go back and build. And then I'll add the lovely
Oxygen
medium board
source,
for our inventory
external.
now. Jump back in our truck. And back over to the base and finish our building our workshop, so we can take a look at it and the things we need to do to get it functioning. We're going to need a few more things to unlock in order to get this a good functioning, a proper functioning base. We'll need to unlock the transformer in our electrical group and batteries. So we have a place to store power to provide power to our workshop. Here we go, and our workshop is done. And I'll explain why we need all that stuff here in a minute. So, normally with building power supply, these doors will open automatically. But if there is not enough power or there is no power,
Equalizer pressure.
you can force the doors open.
Low pressure warning.
Now, what the low pressure warning means is that you have a building that is fully sealed that can provide oxygen. So I could put a oxygen generation unit inside here and fill this room up with oxygen and take my helmet off inside. Normally the lights will come on once you walk into the room, but obviously because we don't have power, they won't come on. So, and then as you add structures to it, it's going to increase the power demand of the building.
Equalizer pressure.
So that is also why I built the water and the plugs and everything on this side closest to my water. So I'm going to put my solar farm out over here because we're going to be building quite a few solar panels so we can provide enough power to at least get this started during the day, get it running. So there are certain things that we'll need to build where we can put in. I'm not going to run water to it right away because there's some stuff that we'll need to build first before we can get water to it. We'll need tanks, a pump, and then we'll also need the oxygen add-on so we can add oxygen and start creating oxygen inside our base. All right, so let's take a look at our tech tree and see where we're at. So I still need quite a bit. So the next things we'll need to unlock in our materials, I recommend unlocking the pump and the CO2 scrubber in that particular order, mainly because you need the pump in order to transfer water from your well to the building. And then later on, once you can unlock tanks and stuff like that, where it'll automatically store water and instead of going straight to your building. Then in our electrical department, to provide proper power, look, we've already got one available. We want our transformer.
Electricity. Technology access level increased.
And then you want to unlock your battery next. For the power source portion part. I do recommend either building the battery or unlocking the battery or unlocking the workbench next. I say the workbench next because the simple fact is that if you look at our tools right now, they have little health bars. And when those health bars deplete, it is not you plug them in and recharge them. You have to repair them. And the only place you can repair them at is the workbench. So you want to unlock that so that you can continue using your tools. So I think that'll be my next goal, to unlock the workbench and the electrical so I can repair my tools and keep using them. Other things that we'll need to unlock to get further on, we can unlock unlocking the tier 1 blowtorch will allow you to build those certain things in your printers. And then your mechanics is just as you have points and blueprints available, go in and unlock those certain things. That's more driving towards the tools that you have, where it makes it faster for you for building or tearing things down, or your vehicles as well. But that is basically the game itself. It's just a matter of going through a progression system. I kind of like this type of progression system where you can unlock things. What's also nice too is that you only have 4 outlets. Let's build one of these now, actually. I'm going to put my transformer here. On your transformer, just like any other building that has outlets and stuff on it, one side is power going in. The arrow pointing out is the power going out. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that, folks. They seem to have found the problem. Is that they think it might be a little low on Freon or refrigerant, so they're gonna go to their warehouse to pick up some so they can refill it. All right, so I'm going to actually I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. Oh, the other way. So that way, it makes it easier for hooking up power to it. And when we look at it here, or you can look at it in your blueprints menu, and you notice it sees the bottom component we need is a small circuit board. So before we continue on building, I'll run back to our truck here. Double check your inventory. Nope, I put them all away. Okay. Go to our storage here. You want one of the green ones, not the orange one. The orange one is damaged. It will not be used. It will still say that you insufficient materials, and it won't allow you to build with it. You have to repair that before you can actually physically use it. So we'll put this in our inventory. So when we go to build the transformer, we can it'll build it straight away versus telling us hey, you don't have enough stuff. It'll be the same way with the batteries as well. You need small circuit boards for each battery you build. So if you want to drop 3 batteries, you're going to need 3 small circuit boards in order to build them. So what's nice about the transformer, the number of inputs you have that same number of outputs. One of the items in the tech tree is an expansion to that. You have to find a blueprint in order to unlock it. This is it's an upgrade to the transformer. What it does is it adds another 4 slots to the side of it. So now instead of just having 4, you have 8 slots on either side of power in and power out. And then it's the same thing with the so you also have that. So for your batteries, you have a battery upgrade. The only thing that changes on the battery, as like with the transformer, it doesn't increase the amount of ports that are on it, but it does increase the capacity of the battery. So the standard capacity of the battery will be from, let's say 150. It'll jump up to 450. I don't think it's significantly that much, but still, it gives you a large jump in the amount of power you can store. I believe in the tutorial it shows you how to mess around with the batteries and how to your batteries and your transformers have these little boxes on the side of them here.
75%.
As you can see, we don't have anything plugged into it yet on either side. It automatically sets these up. So this is the default setting for these transformers. You can go in and adjust how much power is going to each outlet. Each outlet would change to whatever you have that outlet plugged in. So if I have this plugged into my workshop, a picture of my workshop will pop up here, because that's where the power is going. Or if I have it plugged into a battery, a little battery will show up here, versus the building, and here it'll just show me whatever I have plugged in. It's providing power to the transformers. So your input and your outputs. Most likely your inputs will be solar panels. You have small and the medium solar panels to provide power to the base. So that is all I wanted to show you thus far. I will continue on and adding on to my base. I will probably jump back into this weekend and I'll stream a little bit more of it. That way you guys can get a better glimpse at the what it looks like in the early stages of building a base. I want to thank you all for coming by and stopping in and watching the video today. Sorry they're so short. I'm still getting a lot of things gathered together and building up materials and stuff like that. And my day job tends to make me a little tired, so it's kind of hard to do some things sometimes. But again, thank you for stopping by, and please like and subscribe, or don't like and subscribe. Just leave some comments down in the comments below. If you enjoyed it, what you enjoyed about it. If you didn't like it, what can I do to improve? All of us active streamers who stream these video games can't really make any changes or inputs to our games if you're not leaving anything behind. So by all means, please leave a comment below. Make it something decent, not something profane or belittling for that matter. Games you'd like to see me play, what I can do to improve, or tips on, hey, here's a better mic, or here's a better interface, or hey, try this streaming system. I appreciate all the inputs, and if it can help me to improve my videos that I put out to you guys, I will do my best to try to do what I can. But I can't do it, or none of us streamers can do it without your help. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you this weekend. Y'all come back now.